Loading, loading, loading. My game is still loading. Sometimes this takes forever, yeah. Okay, hi everybody, it's Panda Plays here. I know it's been a little while since I've recorded anything. Been working on a couple different video projects that have been taking up a lot of time. But I decided to go ahead and start on a project I've been wanting to do, which is just pretty much a playthrough of World of Warcraft, because I really enjoy this game, and I don't know, I thought it would be kind of a fun thing to do in my off time since I play it so much anyway. I wanted to take a character all the way from level 1 up to 110. As you can see, I do have a full level hunter who's got my awesome raptor in the back there, and a couple other characters on here, but I decided to go ahead and go through a class that I've kind of always wanted to play but never really had a chance, so I picked Shaman. And of course I'm playing a troll because they are by far my favorite race in the entire game, and I know some people agree with that, some people don't. I really find them interesting, and I just feel like they don't really get enough love sometimes because they're all over the world, and they're very their history is kind of all over the world, and I think they're a very interesting race. And so this is my shaman. I named her Julfan. The Fawn is actually Zandali for a loner, which I kind of thought would be good for this because I'm one of those people who comes up with headcanons for all the characters. So these two have a story that interconnects together, and I thought hers would just kind of be on its own. So if she develops one in my head, I mean, we'll see. I hope so. I hope to get attached to her like I do some of my other characters, and eventually I am going to try and do some playthrough on the Demon Hunters because they're very interesting. They're the new class that came out with Legion. And I might do a little bit playing on my Druid, who's not a very high level yet, but I really like him. This is the one I actually named Sea Panda, so one day I'm probably going to go through and play on her. But for this I really wanted a troll because I just adore them so much. So let's go ahead and get into it. I will stop yapping your ears off. Alright, and there's always intros on every character that you pick. They do like little racial intros, so this will be narrated, and I love the narrator. Let's get in here. I don't know how long I'll be recording. I'm going to try and not make these super long, and I'll probably cut out most of the really tedious farming parts, just because those aren't as much fun to watch. But anything that has to do with the story, I will definitely put in here, and anything fun I think happens or weird quests I get, I will be adding in here. Also, sorry about the audio quality and the fact that I don't have a face cam. My computer isn't set up the same right now just because I've been doing so much different things with it. So, plus I didn't want to do face cam because I feel like on this one it'll be a lot of me just kind of watching the screen, and I'm a little less self-conscious about what I'm saying when I'm not watching my face. So, you guys just have to put up with my voice instead. Poor you.
Exiled years ago from their lands in Stranglethorn Vale, the dark-speared trolls attempted to make a new life for themselves amongst the disparate races of the Horde. Under the leadership of the noble war chief Thrall, Vol'jin and his savage trolls had at last found the honor and purpose they had been searching for. But now, under the rule of the headstrong Garrosh Hellscream, the trolls fear that the Horde could tear itself apart. Vol'jin knows that whatever threats loom ahead, whether they be from within the Horde or from without, it is cunning trolls like you who will fight to preserve the honor of the Horde. Okay, so that's the intro for the trolls. I really enjoy that intro. I love the guy they have doing the narration for all the openings. The other thing I do want to point out is the intro for the trolls obviously takes place somewhere between Cataclysm and Pandaria, because it doesn't happen during Pandaria, it's like right at the beginning, I think. And you'll see what I mean, because there's a couple cutscenes with Vol'jin, actually, that will also kind of help you figure out where the storyline's at. So let's go ahead and get started. Ooh.
Relax.
Okay, and I'm probably not going to read too much of these, because I have done the tutorial levels a couple times. I love the guy on the drum who's clearly not. He's banging to his own beat there. Oh,
Yeah,
somebody
man.
else loaded in.
Let's crack some tiki target skulls.
They gave you this, I've noticed they've done this in a couple of the beginning areas. They added little NPCs that kind of run around with you just to show you where to go. We'll follow him over here.
Your trainer should be somewhere in the grounds here. I'll catch you later, man.
Okay, so here's the shaman trainer. I did not realize we would have the same hairdo. Well, apparently I picked the shaman hairstyle.
Don't be shy.
Alright. I'm also not going to read that out loud because I'm going to absolutely butcher the accent they're supposed to have here.
Bye-bye now.
Yeah, intro to the game is always the same thing. You get your tutorial on how to attack. I love the spellcasting animations. I think they're interesting. How their hair kind of goes all flowy around them. Let's go turn that in. Woo. Hello.
Hello, ma.
Level up.
Later.
Oh, also on your map in the upper right-hand corner, I don't know why I'm giving you guys a tutorial. You probably know how to play this game, but in case you don't, your map in the upper right-hand corner will kind of show you the area that your quest is in by putting a big blue circle around it. It's helpful in the bigger zones when you really are not sure where you're supposed to be going. And I'm really glad that the trolls kind of have their own starting area now. I don't know if anybody played way back in vanilla or pretty much before. I think it was either Cataclysm or Pandaria where they got this zone finally. But for a long time they just split a starting zone with the not trolls, the orcs. So if you played a troll or an orc, you were running around the exact same area. It's really nice that they have their own zone now.
Spirits be with you.
Which actually happened because of, there was a quest line where you had to come back and actually fight for this zone from one of Vol'jin's old buddies who went bad and was creating zombies out of some of the Darkspear trolls. And he took over this island, and we had to come and fight it back from him. Alright. I gotta fight a Naga. I also really appreciate the way that they do the dialogue boxes in this game, because they always make sure everybody kind of has their manner of speaking. It's definitely most noticeable on the Naga and the trolls. Because with the Naga, you always end up with the random S's everywhere.
Hey there. Be good.
And then on the trolls, obviously, it shows up in their kind of pseudo-Jamaican accent. I don't want to say it's completely Jamaican, because most of the accents that are in this game are kind of variations of actual accents. And I love that every race in this game is based off of, I mean, they all very clearly have their own culture. Like, when you come into a troll area, it's definitely different than an orc area, or a Draenei area, or an elf area. I love the way that they've tried to make every race really feel like its own thing. The only thing I think I would have to complain about is the appearance options that you have when you're creating your new character. And it's not even so much like the hair or anything like that. It's actually, like one of the big things with the female trolls I kind of wish they would do is give them the option of the face paint that you see on the male trolls. Because they almost all have some form of face paint. But the female trolls don't get that. And I don't know. I haven't seen it explained as like a cultural thing. So a lot of the times it makes me wonder if it's supposed to be part of the lore, or they just kind of thought the female trolls look better without it. But personally, aesthetically, I would really like it if you could change their, well, I would like it if you could kind of change eye color, change earring options, change face paint. I think would be a really cool idea. I think tattoos in this game would be really interesting. I know they did just update all the image packages, because this is much cleaner and much crisper than it used to look. The trolls used to be a lot more muddled looking because they looked how they did when the game came out, which was a long time ago. And so the new skins look really good. I just kind of wish that they would have been able to add more appearance options to go along with it. And who knows, maybe they will. I don't know. They're always updating the game, so. This is the Darkspear flags over here, which are probably my favorite design as well. I'm just a troll nerd. I like the trolls. And here we go. We're going to talk to my favorite character ever. This is one of my favorite leaders of the Horde right here. This is Vol'jin, probably the most badass troll. If you ever get a chance to kind of look into his backstory, it's actually really interesting. I really like Vol'jin.
Darkspear, never gonna give up.
Also helps that he's got my favorite voice actor ever.
I have something to show you. It'll be easier to understand if you see it yourself.
Don't talk back to me, troll. You know who was left in charge here. Haven't you stopped to ask yourself why Thrall chose me instead of you?
There be no question why, Garrosh. He gave you the title because you be Grom's son. And because the people be wanting a war hero. I think you be more like your father than you thought. Even without the demon blood.
You are lucky that I don't gut you right here, whelp. You are foolish to think you can speak to your war chief in such ways.
You'll be no war chief of mine. You'll not earn my respect. And I'll not be seeing the Horde destroyed by your foolish thirst for war.
And what exactly do you think you're going to do about it? Your threats are hollow. Go slink away with the rest of your kind to the slums. I will endure your filth in my throne room no longer!
I know exactly what I'll be doing about it, son of Hellscream. I'll watch and wait as your people slowly become aware of your ineptitude. I'll laugh as they grow to despise you, as I do. And when that time comes, that your failure is complete and your power is meaningless, I will be there to end your rule, swiftly and silently. You will spend your reign glancing over your shoulder and fearing the shadows. For when the time comes and your blood be slowly draining out, you will know exactly who fired the arrow that pierced your black heart.
You have sealed your fate, troll.
And you yours, War Chief. The Darkspear are here because I led them here. Orgrimmar be no home, long as it be under Hellscream's hand. Still I fear I was letting my temper drive me to being rash. Thrall devoted himself to making the Horde what it is, so I've no eagerness to be leaving it on a whim. This will be needing much more thought. But these be worries for older minds. You still have much to learn. Go help the people of the Darkspear. I'm sure we'll be speaking again real soon.
Okay, and that's Vol'jin. He is definitely one of my favorites. I think he's probably one of the more underappreciated leaders of the Horde. He's gotten a lot more notice recently, obviously, because of different things. And before anybody yells at me in the comments, I do know the spoiler for Legion, so, but if nobody else does, please don't put it in the comments, because you don't want to ruin the endgame stuff for people, and yeah, so let's just be courteous and not put the spoilers underneath, but he's definitely one of my favorites, and I'm actually planning on doing a female Vol'jin cosplay to go along with my my roommate, who I dressed up as Thrall, and I'm hoping we can do that at a con one day. I would love to go to BlizzCon, but that's almost harder to get into than San Diego Comic-Con, which we actually just got back from. It was a lot of fun. Alright, so back to the quest line here.